I'm going to share my screen. Okay, so this is a training on how to quote a refinance. We're going to start back over just because, so we open up Edge, we type in Hayes Strickling Refinance. There, you hit the next button a couple times, hit lower interest rate, current property value if we have it from the previous file, and what the purchase price was, I put it there. If it's a new one in this particular case, I've never worked with Hayes before, I'm going to put 0. I leave the total payout blank. I'd be interested to get Tony's ideas on how he does this because I know he puts something there, but I leave that blank because it will cause confusion if that number does not match this. So that actually is a little training for Tony if he ever watches this, because he puts a number here and then he puts a different number here, and it confuses the system. Because when it's pulling the quote, it doesn't know which one to pull from. Does it pull from this number or the other one?
So you would like me to leave that?
I leave this, yeah, leave that blank and go off this number, okay? And then we plugged in the 350 loan amount, the interest rate, the loan, so we now see that, and that matches the mortgage statement, so we know we're good, okay? Then we go next. We're going to leave this blank because of the fact we don't have the escrow account. We talked through that a little bit, so this one's a little bit easier. Normally you put in homeowner's insurance or taxes here. If we do not have it, then we're going to put escrow here, and we're going to type it in, okay? But if we can do the extra legwork to track down the numbers, that's best.
We do have it, but
yeah.
You don't want to.
And well, he's probably going to want to waive escrows, but if you want to come back through here and put it in there, that would actually be great. That's one of the things Tony does is he will true it all up to match it up. And then we also, which is another training, if you go search in Blue Jeans, you can find, I trained Marcel in the same video like this on how to navigate here in Texas. We run a lot of issues with property taxes going up every year. So what they're collecting in the escrow account may be short from what they actually need. They may want to refinance not only get a lower interest rate, but to help offset the fact they have a huge escrow shortage. So like those are probably the two main reasons I will see people refinance, is to get a lower rate, to cure the escrow account, or to do a cash out. We see curing that escrow account as a major benefit of doing the refinance here in the state of Texas because our taxes are so high. Okay, so we'll do 30-year fixed to start with, okay? The big thing here you want to make sure you do is click this button, click is a refi. If you don't click that button, everything's going to get screwed up, and you're going to get confused because you're like, I thought I did everything right. It's like, what is missing? That little button. It's a big difference. Then property value, what I put here is I will usually put what's Zillow, okay? And I'll tell them, like, this is my guess at what it'll appraise for, so we end up updating this sometimes when we get the actual appraisal. Hopefully the appraisal doesn't come in low, but sometimes it does. So there is some, I'm open to other thoughts on how to best do this, but this is kind of in my process. So, home value. Okay, we don't have.
There was a new bill.
They did. Interesting. So.
595. I put 525 because that's what 50.
Oh, okay. You already had that. Good. Great. You've already been doing some of the. Awesome. All right. Well, then let's put 525 here. And I agree. I like to go conservative. So let's, boom, there it goes. Now what happens is I need to hit this button. Yep.
Okay, we might get more,
Yeah, we might get a waiver. You're exactly right. Another thought I would have, rather than Zillow, is pull what's off the tax records. You could look at the Dallas County Appraisal District and see what the assessed value is. That would be another thing. They would be more conservative. We're more likely to get a PIW if we go very conservative on the property value. So we got, okay, good. You already got this thing kind of set up. So you can quote in the system, Encompass, you click this little icon, you click search product and pricing. Have you used Awful Blue before? Okay.
I have.
Okay,
it's
good.
a lot easier in y'all's system.
Oh, is it?
When we go into, another lender system, you know how it's already auto-populated?
Yep.
We have to go in and enter
every
single field. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so that is nice. Okay, cool. So then we're going to price this. So then here's the next part of this training is from a strategy standpoint, and I probably don't have time to give you the whole philosophy on it, but for now, we typically quote with about half to one discount point.
Okay, that's
my thought process on that is majority of people, if I present them two options, say, do you want the lower rate or lower closing costs? They always want to go with the lower rate. Not everybody, so that's one part of it, but a large percentage of people want to do it. So in this particular case, I would probably quote 3.125.
And is that just on refinances or also?
That's also on purchases. That's on everything, because the thing is, too, is our biggest competitor in the country, do you know who that is? Quicken.
Oh,
And they spend more money on advertisement than anybody else, and they always quote with huge amount of discount points, like 3.375. Scroll down here. 2 points to get that rate. So when the market leader, the person doing the most amount of mortgages in the country, is quoting with 2 discount points, if I go with a par rate, like I'm fighting against this perception. It's not a reality, but this perception from the customer, like that rate seems high to me. And you're like, well, I'm not charging any points.
Right.
And they're like, well, I got this rate here. And it's like, and so many lenders quote with points. Now I always cover it with them. I always give them the option to go with no points. But most people yeah, and especially you can roll it in, you know, and especially I can get lower closing costs a lot of times. So I'm going to put 3.125 here. Yeah. So, and then we have closing cost detail. I'm going to do, you have 2 templates. This is for purchases. If you choose a purchase, you can just hit and hit apply. There's not really any changes. You do rolling, summer, refi, closing costs rolled in, 6,918. I get that. Everything is going to look good. The one thing we do need to fix, you need to go to this website, so you're going to want to save this, is Buy Title Policy Calculator. Okay? We're going to put the new loan amount, which is $300,000. Because we'll just have a match up, but sometimes I'll be more accurate and fast. I'm going to put the same amount. You got to put those 2 boxes and then the purchase date. When did they buy this? It was June 1st, 2014, I believe, right? So what happens is that was 6 years ago. So they're going to get a 20% discount on the title policy. They get discounts based on it. So the number you're going to put in there is 1636. Here, it says 1651. That's going to always populate 1651. It's not going to be right. So then you just do that and you hit apply. Then on refinances, we always quote 15 days here. Okay. On purchases, we quote 1 day. Okay. That blank, that blank. Okay. Then what we could do is we could go 30-year fixed fee. Okay. Say, like, what if you wanted to spend a little bit more money on a point? You could go to 2.99 with 1.23.
Didn't that
15. Okay, cool. So that's perfect. So then we can hit copy. Okay. So now everything populates, and then I'm going to drop this to 2.99. Drop this to 1.23. So if you want to spend a little bit more money. Oh, and we're back to it. I got to text Christy real quick. I'm running a few minutes late, but we'll call you in the next 2 to 3 minutes. All right, so we got that plugged in. Here, fixed. One to look at a 15. So I need to
and also see.
I really don't go above 2 ever. I really don't go above 1.5 ever. You can go up to 3. 3.
3?
Oh. Sorry, we'll say that one more time.
Because you can't.
That's right. So really, you can't really go above 2 because if you add in the fees, $8.99, $4.99, $5 for processing. Really, yes. So really, if you go above 2, you're in trouble. Now, the way you get around that, you get seller credits.
Right.
Seller credit covers it, and it's okay. But we do that sometimes. We'll say, like, if someone said, I want the lowest rate humanly possible, I'll talk to them what's called a rate buy-down strategy. I'll say, hey, ask for $5,000 in seller credits from the seller. Okay, cool. So then you can go to presentation mode here. I'm going to uncheck this one. That way we just sum the 30. Then the other thing that I want to play around with here, I'm going to put that date in there. I want to like to get the cash to close to kind of mirror that, because my suggestion, most of the time people are doing a refinance, they're not doing it to skip a payment. Not their motivation. Their motivation is to get a lower interest rate. My thought is to bring a payment to closing. Now, this is my philosophy. Newton does not do it this way.
Payment of the old mortgage or the?
I just have them basically bring a payment to closing. I just
Which
say
payment? Monthly payment.
they're just bringing money, like, because we're going to pay off the mortgage and set up an escrow account, all this stuff. Or I'll come back to you and fill in more details on that. But my thought is for right now, when you're just setting up quotes for me, have it to where it matches. So I need to finance an extra 14. Closing costs will come in here. I'm going to change. If I drop 899, I need to get another 500. If I do this, have those not added to the loan, that's going to then bring to
Your cash to close is matching the old payment.
right. That's yes. Cash to close is matching.
Set up to match.
Oh, on the other one. Okay. I have it matched to the old one. That's right. Yep. So now what we've got here is there we go. We can play around with that a little more. But now what I'll do is, oh, there we go. So now the quote is set up. Okay. So that is how you set up refinance quotes. So I'm going to stop on that.